One day in the year 1809 in China, a man was out working on his farm. Just before he was about to finish for the day, a horse appeared. The man took the horse and put it in a safe place. His neighbor saw what happened and said, "You have found a horse. That's amazing. You are so lucky." The man replied, "Who knows what is good and what is bad?" The next day, the man and the neighbor saw that the horse had gone. It had escaped. "Oh dear, how unfortunate," the neighbor said. "Who knows what is good and what is bad?" replied the man. Later that day, the horse returned with 4 other horses. The man was putting them in a safe place, and the neighbor appeared. "Now you have 4 horses," the neighbor said, very surprised. "Who knows what is good and what is bad?" replied the man. The neighbor was starting to get a little annoyed at the man always saying the same thing. The next day was a particularly nice day. The sun was shining and it was nice and warm. The man's son was out working in the field with the other horses. He could do his work a lot faster now with the horses. After an hour or 2 of good work, one of the horses suddenly jumped. The man's son fell off and broke his leg. It was terrible, and the man's son was in a lot of pain. The neighbor came over to offer his support and condolences. He entered the house, gave everyone a hug, and said, "I am so sorry this has happened. How unfortunate." The man replied, "Who knows what is good or bad?" The neighbor was a little surprised. He thought that maybe the man was not okay in the head. Maybe the man was a bit crazy. He finished offering his support and went back to his house. The next day, the neighbor was awoken by a loud noise. It was the Chinese army. They were recruiting young men to fight in a horrible war. They took the neighbor's son away from his family. But when they looked at the man's son, they saw he had a broken leg. The man's son was not taken away by the army because of his broken leg. The neighbor burst into the house of the man and said, "They have taken my son. They have taken him from me." The neighbor looked at the man's son. He realized he was still here and he fell silent. He thought for a second and continued saying in a calmer voice, "They have taken my son, but who knows what is good and what is bad?"